vinyl friends and vinyl community. It is Monday, which means it's time for another installment of Vinyl Editions. And this week, I did something I said I was never going to do, and I didn't even realize it. So what was it? Well, if you've been following these videos, you know that I've been getting into the band REM, a band that I have not given a single chance to for the last probably 26 years or so. And the reason is because there was a radio station that I listened to growing up that I really liked, and one day it decided it was changing formats. We were right on the cusp of everything moving into that grunge alternative rock era, coming down from the glam metal, hair metal, heavy metal bands of the 80s and early 90s. And my station was the heavy metal station. Well, it, unbeknownst to most of us, there was no internet at the time, so we couldn't look it up, was changing formats from the heavy metal format to the alternative rock format. To commemorate this, they decided to play one song over and over and over for 72 hours straight. 72 hours straight. No message to tell you why they were doing it, nothing to inform you that the station was changing. They just sent a message in the form of one song. That song happened to be the song "It's the End of the World as We Know It" by the band REM. Because I heard that song every time I turned the radio on for 3 straight days, I loathed the band REM. So I never bothered to get into them. Recently, my buddy Jay, who's a big REM supporter, asked me to do a podcast episode for my podcast. We do a thing called Tracks Together where we look at an album. He asked me to open up my horizons and listen to an REM album. So I told him I would do any REM album he wanted to do as long as it didn't contain this song, "It's the End of the World as We Know It." So we did the album Automatic for the People. I enjoyed it. I really liked the album, and so from then on I started buying REM albums. But I told myself no matter what, I wasn't going to buy the album with "It's the End of the World as We Know It." Fast forward to about 2 weeks ago, I'm in a vinyl online auction and an album comes up that's an REM album that I don't have. I bid on it, I win it, and it comes, and I realize that I picked up REM's Document album. Now, I'm sure this album is fantastic, and I can't wait to actually listen to it. But when I looked at the back, I noticed one glaring thing. That's right. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. So here I am, now in possession of a very minty looking copy of REM's Document album. And I will be faced with the fact that I told myself I would do it, put this on, listen to the whole album, including "It's the End of the World as We Know It." That's right, I'm going to listen to it for the first time in approximately 26 years. We'll see how I feel after I play it. Maybe I'll actually like the song. I'm going in with an open mind. So we're starting Vinyl Editions with REM's Document album, featuring the song "It's the End of the World as We Know It," and I feel fine. Alright, so let's check out what else I got this week. I bought this one in a vinyl auction. This is the Pretenders debut album, I believe. I've never really listened to the Pretenders, but a lot of people say that this is a great album, so I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. Autographed up top there by Carol Swanson. So thank you, Carol Swanson, for your autographed copy of the Pretenders. I'm looking forward to listening to this. I'm not sure what to expect. I think that they're kind of a new wave type alternative rock band. I'm not even really sure, but we'll give it a spin and see what is going on with the Pretenders. Another one from a vinyl auction. This one I don't know either, but I thought, what the heck? Femme Fatale. This is a heavy metal group fronted by a female singer, and this was the only album they put out until 2016 when she decided to put the band back together with an all-female lineup. So this was the only album. It's heavy metal, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and it was very cheap, so checking that one out. Another one I picked up from the same auction, and this is another one I don't really know, but it's Southern Rock, and everyone that I talk to says it's absolutely fantastic. This is Alias Contraband, and I believe that this contains a one of the former members of the early Lynyrd Skynyrd days, but I've heard this is really great, and I love Southern Rock, so I was willing to give that a chance. All right, here's one that comes from Hickory, North Carolina. Crate Diggers is a shop down in Hickory, North Carolina, and Brent is one of the owners, and he's just a great guy. I bought from him in the past, and he posts what he picks up in Root Vinyl finds on there that are going into his store. I saw this, and I really wanted to get this album, so I reached out to him and asked if he could sell it to me instead of selling it in his shop, and he agreed, which I am very grateful for. This is Rat's Reach for the Sky. This one I don't see very often. It seems hard to get. It's not too expensive price-wise. I mean, for a used album, I guess, you know, it's up there a little bit, but this one cost me, I think, $15. And I had only seen one other copy before, and it was going for $20, so I figured it was a good deal to get it. It's in great shape, just beautiful cover. Everything looks awesome. Vinyl looks great. So looking forward to spinning this. Now I just need to find a copy of Detonator, and I'll have all those early Rat albums in my possession. All right, some newer titles that I picked up. Here is Meghan Trainor Title. This, of course, has All About That Bass on it. I really enjoyed this album when it came out. Dear Future Husband is a great one. All About That Bass, of course, is a classic. And I really enjoyed this one. I have her Thank You album as well, which is pretty decent. It's a lot more poppy, hip-hoppy stuff that is not what I really got into her for, but it's still pretty good. I have not listened to her new album, though, yet. So I haven't done that. All right, I upgraded to the UK versions. Of course, these are reissues, but I have the American versions of these albums from the Beatles. The first one being A Hard Day's Night. I picked this one up. This is the one I grew up listening to. It has the soundtrack order that I actually know better than the one that I bought used, an older copy of it. And so I had the CDs growing up, and this is what I'm used to. So I was happy to pick this up. Looking forward to spinning that. And then, of course, I picked up the reissue of the Beatles' Help. Again, I have the original American issue, and then these are pressed from the UK track listing. And this is the one that contains the song I've Just Seen a Face. So I was happy to finally get this as well. It's got Yesterday as well on it, and Ticket to Ride. Just a really good one. And again, I grew up with this version on CD, so happy to have those. This one I found went on sale on Amazon for dirt cheap. Every time I look to buy this album, my kids are huge fans of this band, and this is the only one we didn't have of theirs. And every time I find it, it's like $30 or $40 to buy it. So when this popped up on Amazon for $13, I had to get it for them. This is the only one they're missing. This is Imagine Dragons Smoke Plus Mirrors, and yeah, Smoke and Mirrors, and I was just super elated to see this for so cheap. So we listened to this the other day. They really enjoyed it. So now I've got them all the Imagine Dragon albums that they can listen to. So whenever we play family games, a lot of times they want to listen to Imagine Dragons. Picked this one up as well. This one went on sale. Happy to have this. This is Chris Robinson Brotherhood, and this one is called The Magic Door. I picked this one up on, I love this band anyway, and I'm trying to get their stuff, but I picked this one up on the recommendation of Chris Has the Spins. He played this, and I mentioned that I needed to get that still, and he just went on about how much he really likes it. So I'm excited to spin this one. Really happy, looking forward to that. Picked this one up at Target. This is the Target exclusive version of the Go-Go's Greatest Hits. Just came out recently, and I've heard the black vinyl copy that you get in other places has some flaws and issues with it, but everyone who's gotten this version from Target says it's just great, no issues at all. So it comes in this really cool seafoam green that is exclusive to Target. So excited to get this one and spin this. Who doesn't like a little bit of Go-Go's in their life? And last but certainly not least, it wouldn't be complete unless I had this album that came out on Friday. This is Bob Dylan's Rough and Rowdy Ways, which features the epic 18-minute track Murder Most Foul, about the assassination of John F. Kennedy. This is an absolutely fantastic album from Bob Dylan. I bought the CD when it came out, which I think was a couple weeks before the vinyl, and really, really, really enjoyed it. And so I was really looking forward to this. It arrived on Friday, and I wasn't able to spin it until yesterday, but man, just a killer sounding album, a beautiful album. And like I said, Side D is basically a 17-minute epic called Murder Most Foul, which he did release early, streaming-wise, for people to listen to. So just a great album, cool gatefold. Yeah, Bob Dylan's first original music in many, many years. So thank you, Bob. Absolutely fantastic album. Highly, highly recommend it. That's going to do it for this week on Vinyl Editions. I picked up some really cool stuff, and a lot of it came Monday after I posted my previous week's video, and I purposely set it aside so I wouldn't spoil it on my Instagram or Facebook pages, and wanted to wait until I could share it with you before I started listening to most of it. Really, really looking forward to this week of spinning. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, hit that subscribe button below. Follow us along for the journey. And hey, leave a comment. I love interacting with everybody in the vinyl community. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep spinning vinyl, friends.